7 most underperforming players in international football. Why is it that some of the world's best players can't do their best when they're playing for their country? Today, we're going to look into why stars like Kevin De Bruyne and Gonzalo Higuain are having trouble. There might be pressure, demands, or something else going on. Stay with us while we break it all down. In many cases, international football is the best way for players to show off their skills and help their country win. A lot of players do well when they're under a lot of pressure, but some have trouble living up to the standards. This video talks about 7 players who haven't done well on the international stage for different reasons. All of these players, from famous stars to up-and-coming stars, have had problems that have affected how well they've done. Number 7. William Saliba. When William Saliba moved from Saint-Étienne to Arsenal in 2019, he became a highly rated young defender. Expectations were sky-high for him. He has had some great games in the Premier League, which has earned him a steady starting spot at Arsenal and a growing reputation as one of the best defenders in Europe. Even though Saliba has done well with his club team, his international record has not been great. He first played for the French national team in 2021, but he has had trouble staying on the team, with established stars like Raphael Varane and Presnel Kimpembe in France's defense. It has been hard for Saliba to get regular playing time. His lack of performances has slowed his rise on the world stage, and when he has had chances, he hasn't always given the performances that were expected of him. Some people say that he needs to step up when asked, especially since the World Cup is coming up soon. Poor results for the national team can make people wonder if he can handle pressure and deliver when it matters for a player with his talent. Number 6. Matthijs de Ligt. In 2019, Matthijs de Ligt led Ajax to a domestic double and an amazing run to the UEFA Champions League playoffs. He was praised as one of the best young defenders in the world. Because he was a good leader and a great defender, he was quickly signed by Juventus, where standards were still very high. But de Ligt's time with the Netherlands has not been as good as his time with his club team. He has been a part of the national team, but his play has been all over the place, and he has often made mistakes that cost his team important games. The Netherlands were eliminated from the 2020 UEFA European Championship early, which made de Ligt's mistakes in key moments stand out even more. Even though he is very talented, some people say he isn't mature enough or calm enough in stressful situations, which has made it harder for him to play for the national team. Number 5. David de Gea. Many people think that David de Gea is one of the best goalkeepers of his generation. He had a great run at Manchester United. Many awards, including multiple Premier League Player of the Season awards, have been given to him for his speed and ability to stop shots. Even though De Gea has had success with his club team, his time playing for Spain internationally has been filled with failure. New artists like Unai Simon have been fighting him for the number 1 spot, making it very tough for him to stay there. But when he has been called upon, De Gea has had trouble getting back to the form he had at his club. De Gea's play at the 2018 World Cup was closely watched, especially after a string of mistakes that got him noticed and helped Spain leave the tournament early. People are wondering about the goalkeeper's mental strength and consistency on the world stage, because he can't play his best when it matters the most. It's still not clear what De Gea's future holds with the national team as Spain continues to rebuild. His lackluster performances have put a shadow over his legacy. Number 4. Kevin De Bruyne. Many people think Kevin De Bruyne is one of the best midfielders in the world. He is known for having great vision, playing, and leadership on the field. He is now considered a top-level player thanks to his success at Manchester City, where he has helped them become the best team in England. Even though De Bruyne is a great player on his own, his international record with Belgium has been disappointing. Even though it has stars like Romelu Lukaku and Eden Hazard, Belgium's golden generation has never done well in big events like the 2018 World Cup or UEFA Euro 2020. De Bruyne's games in these events have been closely watched because he has had trouble bringing his club's success to the national level. He has also been hurt, which has harmed his fitness and form when it means the most. Fans aren't sure if De Bruyne can deliver when it matters because he hasn't played well in key games, while Belgium is still trying to win the World Cup. Number 3. Phil Foden. The young English player Phil Foden became one of the best, and he showed off his skills at Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. Many people think he will become an important player for the national team because of how good he is technically, how well he sees the game, and how versatile he is. But Foden's international journey hasn't gone as far as many people thought it would. Even though he made his senior debut in 2020, he has had a hard time staying in the England team. When given the chance, Foden hasn't always played as well as he does for his club. Foden didn't make much of an effect at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. He was often on the bench for important games. Some people say that he needs to change how he plays to fit the international style, which is often different from the fluid aggressive play that he likes at club level. As England tries to put together a team that can compete for titles, Foden's poor play has made people wonder if he is ready to play on the world stage. Number 2. Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. has become one of the best young football players in the world. His speed, skill, and ability to change games are making waves at Real Madrid. His play in La Liga has shown how good he can be, and he has quickly become a fan favorite at the Santiago Bernabeu. Even though Vinicius has had a lot of success with his club team, his international experience with Brazil has not been as important. He has had a hard time getting regular playing time because there is a lot of competition for spots on the team. Vinicius has had trouble getting used to the way the Brazilian national team plays in big events like the Copa America and FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Some people have said that his lack of stability in front of goal and in making decisions has made it harder for him to positively affect games. As Brazil continues to try to do well on the international stage, Vinicius' poor play makes people wonder if he can handle the stresses of international football. Number 1. Gonzalo Higuain. People used to think that Gonzalo Higuain was one of the best players in the world of football. He scored a lot of goals while playing for Real Madrid, Napoli, and Juventus. He was very important to both his club and his country because he could score goals. But Higuain's international career with Argentina has been marked by missed chances and broken hearts. Even though Higuain has been to 3 straight finals, the 2014 FIFA World Cup, the 2015 and 2016 Copa America, he has been unable to score key chances at crucial times. Fans and experts have both said bad things about him because he hasn't been able to score in these finals, which has often made his great club career look less important. Even though Higuain was a great striker, his international reputation is tainted by the idea that he let Argentina down when it counted most. Fans still talk about how poorly he did in big tournaments as they remember the important moments in his international career. For many football players, the world stage is the ultimate test. Some do well under pressure, while others have trouble doing their best. The players this video talks about: William Saliba, Matthijs de Ligt, David De Gea, Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Vinicius Jr., and Gonzalo Higuain have all had problems that have made it harder for them to do well for their national teams. These players haven't done well when it meant the most, either because of tough competition, injuries, or not being able to replicate their club form. Fans and experts will be keeping a close eye on them as they continue to play for their countries to see if they can turn their luck around and live up to the promise that was seen at the club level. Over the course of their careers, these players have shown that being successful in football isn't just about having talent. It's also about being able to perform regularly on the biggest stages. If you found these insights fascinating, make sure to subscribe. We've got plenty more stories and analyses coming your way that you won't want to miss.